Girl Curly Jamaican here with yet another video for you. And I wanted to start out my video by first sending my condolences to the Kobe Bryant family. The day that we lost Kobe Bryant was definitely a sad day in history. He is an absolute legend and he will be missed. The thing I wanted to do was to give a shout out to my girl for sending me a message on Instagram about a topic that she wanted me to address. She believed that the topic was controversial. I think it's just absolutely hilarious, to say the least. But it did make me want to dig further into the bigger issue, which is domestic violence in Jamaica. Now, domestic violence is definitely a problem in the entire Caribbean region, but I just wanted to focus more on what is happening in Jamaica because Jamaican counterparts know it is a monster at this point. So what was the message that she sent me? Well, correct me if I'm not saying her name correctly because I literally just found out about her today, but her name is Nazma Muller and she is a gender advocate from Trinidad and Tobago. And she went to her social media and posted what she believed would be a solution to the domestic violence problem. Now, she believes that women should starve their men or withdraw sex from them for an entire month in hopes that this will curb domestic violence and as well as to put women's rights at the forefront. Cute. I think it's cute. Let me ask you this, Miss Muller. Are you trying to increase spousal rape? Because the last time I checked, spousal rape is a thing. Okay, that's what I see happening with this solution. Good men are going to allow their wives to have that moment, are going to probably understand the statement that their wives are trying to make. Men that actually commit domestic violence against their partners, not so understanding. And those are the men that I think we're trying to target. So I think your post is adorable and I think you actually achieved something good from that post because it got people talking, and that's what we really want. We need to generate a conversation about this, a real conversation. But just like that march against domestic violence that took place on November 29th, 2019 in Jamaica, where men took to the street in heels, that is also really, really cute. But at this stage, honestly, we kind of need to do a lot more than be cute, right? So pretty much today, that is going to be my focus, which is what are we doing about domestic violence in Jamaica? What can be done about domestic violence in Jamaica? And to just share some statistics and information concerning the subject. Now, a few things I want to say. It does seem as if our politicians in Jamaica are taking the matter seriously and, they are speaking on the issue. I just wanted to mention some relevant things that at least two politicians have actually said about the issue. Of national security, Dr. Horace Chang is reassuring the public that interpersonal violence, particularly domestic violence, continues to be a top priority to the ministry and the Jamaica Constabulary Force as they develop and strengthen partnerships to protect the most vulnerable. Also condemns the murder of 8-year-old Galen Buchanan, whose body was found floating in the Kingston Harbor last week. Now, oh my goodness, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, whether you're in Jamaica or you're there foreign, it really doesn't matter. But I'm pretty sure that many of you have heard of Galen Buchanan and his demise. Now, apparently an ex-partner kidnapped the young boy who had a really good relationship with him. So of course the young boy trusted him, kidnapped the young boy and killed him. Some type of message or vindictiveness towards his ex-girlfriend. Now, I can't imagine how heartless you would have to be to do something like that. You literally would have to be completely distanced from any type of kindness, compassion, morality to do something like this. It's just horrific that anyone can think that this is actually the best way to get back at an ex-partner by killing their child. I mean, if that didn't make us all want to act or do something, I don't know what will. Like, this has to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It has to be. The other cases before this one should have been the wake-up call, but this one for me was that moment, like, oh my gosh, these politicians need to be earning their wages at this point. Something has to be done. And what made me sad, and you guys can correct me, is when I did my research, I saw that there were funds allocated towards building 2 shelters for domestic violence victims, spoken about in 2017. And we heard some information about it in 2019, but as far as we currently know, these 2 shelters have still not been built. Now, at this point, Dr. Horace Chang, we need more than lip service. You know, everyone is really sorry about what happened to Galen, but we need to make sure that we don't have more of Galen's occurring. That needs to hear an action plan. All right. Another minister who is also involved in the fight against domestic violence towards women and children is Minister Grange. And apparently she's not only the Minister of Gender, she's also the Minister of Culture, Entertainment, and Sports. No offense, Minister Grange, but it seems like your plate is kind of full. So I recommend that you get one of those junior ministers to help you out with this particular issue. Have them make this a priority, because by the time we're talking about shelters for some years and we're not seeing these shelters, obviously I would have to say that you're busy, right? This is a problem. This is like a national problem, and I just honestly don't see enough actions being taken by the members of government. Instead, what we have are men in heels who are spreading awareness and some conversation about it on social media, but this clearly is not enough to address the problem. So I'm not criticizing you. I'm just saying, get some help with this. Assign some of these duties to a junior minister so that they can actually focus on getting some things done. Of course, I'm a very realistic person. I'm a practical person. Domestic violence is not something that can act it 100%. It's not something that we can completely get rid of. But we want to see a reduction in these instances. We want to see a reduction in these cases. We don't want to see so many Galens in the news, you know. And I don't know if these shelters have actually been built, but if they haven't, chop, get these shelters up and running, because we need to have a safe haven for our women and children to go to when they need it. And another thing that I'm actually little disappointed in is the fact that we've only considered building 2. There are 14 parishes in Jamaica. Really, should a person from a very far away parish jump on a bus, jump on a taxi, which probably costs umpteen money to travel to one of our 2 facilities? Come on, at least start out with 14 shelters so there can at least be 1 shelter in each parish. And I know this costs money, but are we trying to save lives? Politicians are not the only people that we need to be looking to for help. We also need to be looking towards these church leaders. Yes, church leaders, I'm talking to you. If you actually done your part in trying to alleviate this matter, well, kudos to you. But I am talking about a lot more of you doing more, okay? Church leaders, you can host fundraisers and drives and events that will generate some funds to assist victims of domestic violence. If the church has the resources, I feel like they should formulate a group and to make it known to the congregation that if you are a victim of domestic violence, come talk to us. We can help you in a safe way. We are relying on the government to build these shelters, but private companies can also do their part to build shelters too. I mean, Digicel, I know that you guys can actually jump in and partner with other companies to get something done for domestic violence victims. I am literally so appalled by this passiveness. It's as if we're saying that we care, but it is our actions that show that we care. It is the things that we do. It is how we address these issues. And talking about it alone is not going to address the problem. I'm calling on all the important people, big names, entertainers, come together and help the country figure something out. Fake outrage is not the move. Acting like you care is not the move. Actually doing something about what is happening in Jamaica is the move. So let's get on the move. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the fact that we do love to villainize the men that are perpetrators of domestic violence. Well, let me just shed some light on something for you. Men who actually witness domestic violence in their home or are victims themselves of domestic violence will grow up to perpetuate domestic violence. So it is not black and white. We can't just villainize the men and think, well, you know, they are a lost cause and they deserve what's coming to them and things like that. No, we need to actually look at why our men are behaving like this towards our women. And of course, the first common sense response to that is conditioning, right? They practice what they see. They think that this behavior is okay because they see their fathers or other men behaving like this. We need to come up with programs to re-educate our men, recondition our men. You know, growing up, we used to hear things like, you know, women saying, if he doesn't hit me, he's not in love with me. That is that sort of a mentality that goes both ways with women and men. They probably don't understand the severity of what they're doing. Some of them, right? Some of them feel like if they slap their partner one time, that doesn't really constitute domestic violence. Some of them think, well, you know, I didn't really make her bleed or anything like that. That's not domestic violence. Or some of them think, hey, you're my wife. I have a right to your body. Things like that. In their minds, they are literally thinking that this type of behavior is not as severe. We have to get to the root of this type of thinking. We have to change this mentality. And that's why I say, let's kind of dial back a little bit on villainizing and let's kind of focus on rehabilitating, reforming minds, things like that. Let's see how we can connect with our men. And I mean all of them, not just the educated ones, because I know that those men that were wearing heels were the good ones. That's like preaching to the choir. We need to connect with men that are not in the choir. We need to connect with men that don't think that slapping their partner or raping their wives is a problem. Those are the men that we need to connect with. We need to get to them before they actually do something like kill their partner or the children and then kill themselves, okay? And clearly the fact that they are killing themselves lets us know that there's some type of mental disorder behind it as well. It's not only just the thinking, but there might be a type of mental disorder behind their behavior as well. So it's not black and white, you know, it's so many layers of what we need to address when it comes to domestic violence. I actually got these stats from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica. 1 in every 4 Jamaican women has experienced physical violence at the hands of their male partners. More than 7% of Jamaican women experience sexual abuse by their male partners. It is found that 80% of abused women sought help or reported the abuse to their neighbors, friends, or relatives instead of law enforcement agencies. But the survey unearthed that nearly 40% of those women got no help. Over 40% of women said that their perpetrators were friends or acquaintances. 15% said that their attackers were family members, and 23% said it was a stranger. The survey also found that 71% of women who experienced physical abuse by their partners fought back. That is good news. And women, you need to know when it's time to escape a certain abusive environment before it costs you your life. But honestly, let's face facts. Some of these women don't really think that they're victims until they're victims. Another thing to know, women, you do have the legal system on your side. If you need to file a protection order, you can do so. You can literally file a protective order if the abuser has used or threatened to use violence against you, or caused physical or mental injury to you. The court can also give you the protection order to prevent that person from entering your space. And when they say space, they mean your space as in your workplace, your place of education, or any other place that you occupy. They will even issue you a protection order if this person layways you, okay? Pretty much meaning if they stalk you or wait on you in a particular place, things like that. Minister Horace Chang is appealing to people who are aware of domestic violence incidents in their communities to call 119 or to contact the nearest police station. But honestly, Minister Horace Chang, you need to formulate a task force specifically for this problem. We need to provide an emergency number to women where they can literally text, "Help, I'm in danger," and then we get an immediate response from this task force. Again, I can't reiterate enough, we're trying to save lives here. Let's throw everything that we can at this problem. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say on the topic. Let me know what you guys think about the some of my suggestions. Let me know what you think about the domestic violence issue or problem that we are experiencing in Jamaica. Leave your comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Yeah.